Welcome to a session on types of semiconductors and Fermi energy. Solids are categorized as conductors, semiconductors, and insulators based on band gap. In some solids, conduction band and valence band overlap with each other. Then those groups of solids are called as conductors. In some solids, valency band and conduction band separated by small amount of energy gap. This is called as semiconductor, or those solids fall under semiconductors. In some solids, valence band and conduction band separated by large amount of band gap. Then those groups of solids fall under insulators. Now let us see what is the basic definition of the semiconductor. Semiconductors are materials having electrical conductivity greater than that of the insulators but less than that of the conductors. So their basic electrical conductivity is fall between conductors and insulators. Semiconductors may be classified as intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors. Now let me explain what are intrinsic semiconductors, what are extrinsic semiconductors. First, let me explain what is the intrinsic semiconductor. Chemically pure semiconductors are called as intrinsic semiconductors. So chemically pure form of semiconductors is called as what? Intrinsic semiconductors. For example, if you take silicon and germanium, this is silicon having 14 electrons and this germanium having 32 electrons, and this silicon having 4 valence electrons. Similarly, this germanium having also 4 valence electrons. At 0 Kelvin, these semiconductors behaves as insulators because all the electrons are engaged in the covalent bonds. Now let me explain what is an extrinsic semiconductor. A semiconductor doped with impurity atoms is called as extrinsic semiconductor. So what is the doping? Doping is addition of impurity atoms to the pure semiconductor. So a semiconductor doped with the impurity atom is called as extrinsic semiconductor or impure semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductors may be classified as two types. One is N type, another one is P type. That depends upon which dopant we are adding. For example, we will discuss the case of N type semiconductor. So N type semiconductors are formed when a pure semiconductor is doped with impurity atoms. For example, in case of group 5 elements, phosphorus, germanium plus phosphorus, germanium plus arsenic, germanium plus antimony will give you a N type semiconductor. How to form a P type semiconductor? So if you add impurity atoms from group 3, for example, germanium plus aluminium, germanium plus boron, germanium plus gallium will give the p-type semiconductor. So you can classify the extrinsic semiconductors as n-type as well as p-type semiconductors depending upon the dopant, which dopant you are adding. Let us see the basic differences between an intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. So doping of impurity, by the definition itself, intrinsic semiconductor, no need of addition of impurities. A pure form of semiconductor is called as what? Intrinsic semiconductor. So extrinsic semiconductor, by the definition itself, it says that addition of impurities will create extrinsic semiconductor. To get n-type semiconductor, we need to add group 5 elements. To get p-type semiconductors, we need to add group 3 elements. Density of electrons and holes. How many number of electrons are there in conduction band? How many number of holes are there in valence band? In intrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons in conduction band is equals to the number of holes in the valence band of intrinsic semiconductor. So the electrical conductivity is 0 or very less. The number of electrons and holes are not equal in case of extrinsic semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, electrons are the majority charge carriers, and in p-type semiconductor, holes are the majority charge carriers. Coming to electrical conductivity is 0 or almost very low in case of intrinsic semiconductor, because The number of electrons and the number of holes are equal in case of intrinsic semiconductor. That's why the electrical conductivity is too low or nearer to zero. So the electrical conductivity is high in case of extrinsic semiconductor, because in case of n-type semiconductor, the majority charge carriers are electrons. So only large number of electrons are there, but small number of holes are there. So that's why you can expect a large electrical conductivity from n-type semiconductor. If you take p-type semiconductor, large number of holes are there, small number of electrons are there. So you can expect a large amount of current due to holes. So electrical conductivity is high in case of extrinsic semiconductor. Electrical conductivity is a function of temperature in intrinsic semiconductor. So as temperature increases, electrical conductivity is also increases in case of intrinsic semiconductor. If you take extrinsic semiconductor, electrical conductivity not only depends upon the temperature, it also depends upon the type of impurity added to the pure semiconductor, that means dopant. Now we will discuss about the Fermi level. Fermi level in the middle of the forbidden gap for intrinsic semiconductor, and Fermi level is nearer to conduction band in case of n-type semiconductor, and Fermi level is nearer to valence band in case of p-type semiconductor. Now let me show. So this is the case of pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor. Here you see this green line indicates the Fermi level of an intrinsic semiconductor. Exactly, it is the half of the way between valence band and conduction band of the intrinsic semiconductor. If you take n-type semiconductor, this red dot, so this red line shows that position of a Fermi level. It is very nearer to conduction band. So the upper band is conduction band, lower band is valence band. So in n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level is so close to conduction band. In case of p-type semiconductor, this is blue dotted line. This is called as Fermi level. This Fermi level, the Fermi level in case of p-type semiconductor is so close to valence band. Fermi-Dirac distribution function and Fermi level. Now let me explain something about Fermi-Dirac distribution function, later Fermi level and Fermi energy. The probability that an electron occupies an energy level E at a thermal equilibrium is given by f of E equal to 1 by 1 plus exponential of E minus EF by KT, where EF is the Fermi level. Here, this f of E is called as a Fermi-Dirac distribution function, and EF may or may not corresponds to an energy level. So this EF may be or may not be correspond to a energy level. In semiconductors, Fermi level is not an allowed energy level. First of all, this is a very important point. Fermi level is not a allowed energy level, just it is a reference for which to determine the energies of electrons and holes in case of semiconductors. Now let me explain Fermi energy. Fermi energy actually defined at two cases. One is at 0K, another one is greater than 0K. So Fermi energy is defined as maximum energy that a free electron can have in a conductor at 0K, and the corresponding level is called as a Fermi level. Fermi energy is the energy of the state at which the probability of electron occupation is 1 by 2 or 0.5 at a temperature above 0 Kelvin. So the corresponding energy level is called as a Fermi level. So we will discuss Fermi energy, Fermi level in detail in case of n-type and p-type semiconductor in later session. So thank you for watching.